Reverence Podcast with Jesse and James.
We have a special guest. His winnowing fork is in his hand to clear his threshing floor and to gather the wheat into his barn. But he will burn up the chaff with unquenchable fire. That sounds like a job for a farmer. Please welcome to the podcast, Pastor Jack Larsen.
Hello there. This is another episode with Jack. Jack has come back for more. This is the Reverence Podcast with James, Jesse,
Yes,
and
it
for
is
the
me.
foreseeable future, Jack. During the week, he's shearing sheep, and during on Sunday, he's sharing the gospel.
Oh yeah.
Yeah, so on. Yeah. So keep listening to us and listening to what good old Jack has to say. Is said some pretty good stuff in this episode. Skål.
You are listening to the Reverence Podcast with Jesse and James.
I think there's a lot of people that sometimes will be like, oh, it's raining, I don't want to get in my car and drive 7.5 minutes over to church. That just feels like a bit woha. Like,
Yeah, and that probably leads me to a good point that, you know, and all that time in the state that I was, how I was saying how the enemy could have just snapped me up at any time there if he had his way. There's a couple of times in my life where I actually prayed genuinely to God. There was one time I got the bulldozer stuck in the swamp and properly stuck, and my dad was away and my grandfather was away and I only had my uncle there, and I'd never gotten a bulldozer stuck before. There's no trees around, and there's water up to the engine in the swamp and it's buried up to the tracks. And I went home and I rang Dad and I was like, how am I going to get this out, Dad? I don't know. And they were way away in the country, on the other side of the country. And they're like, you're going to have to dig a dead man, you know? And you're going to have to dig a dead man. And you're probably wondering what a dead man is, you know?
I am wondering.
Yeah. It's a hole you dig and you put a dead man in? No, we actually do, but the log is the dead man.
oh yeah.
Yeah. And anyway, they said to me, when you feel like you've dug enough, keep going and dig another half again. So I had dug this hole, I got these big posts, and I dug the hole and it was as deep as my head, and I thought, oh, I'm deep enough, and I'm starting to get down to water out, and I've managed to get out into the dry, and I dug down so deep and I carried on digging, and by this stage I'm having to throw the dirt out over the top with the spade. And anyway, I set the wire ropes up and dropped the dead man log into the hole, and then I thought, oh, I'm going to do some more, and I put 2 more posts with wires tied back to hold it from stopping it coming up out of the ground. My uncle was there, and after I'd rigged it all up, I prayed and I said, oh man, we better pray, Uncle James, whom's my late Uncle James. And I said, we better pray. And he said, oh, no, don't worry about praying, you'll be right. And I says, no, I'm going to pray. And I prayed and I says, Lord, I just pray you'll hold this ground together because I was desperate, you know. And I don't know if you had that fear ever come over you when you're young and you've done something like you've really messed up and you feel like crying.
Oh yeah.
Like even when you're probably quite older and you're like your desperation and you're like, oh mate, this is too much. And I was in that state, and anyway I started the bulldozer up, and from the fan that runs on the radiator there's water spraying up out of the side of the engine because it's got that much there deep in the swamp, man. And as I pulled the bulldozer out, I tightened the rope up on the winch and I started to drive the tracks at the same time, and I was like, man, this is just not going to come. And as I pulled more and more and more strain, it was just like, oh, it's really, really stuck. And all these cracks started to form in the ground where I had dug my dead man was probably like 50 metres back into the paddock.
Yeah.
And all these cracks started to, and I could see the whole area that I had fixed with the wood and the rope had started to lift.
Yeah.
And I just said, Lord, hold it together, please.
Yeah.
And as I pulled more weight, it just held.
Yeah.
And the bulldozer started to move.
Yeah.
And out it came.
Yeah.
And that was one of the moments that I knew that the Lord had moved in that moment. And then years go by, and I was at the Red Lion in Wanganui, and, living in my worldly way. And I had prayed probably 2 years prior. I'd had enough, and I said, Lord, I really want you to provide me with the wife that you have for me.
Yeah.
The wife that you have for me.
Yeah.
And 2 years after I'd prayed that prayer, had forgotten I'd prayed that prayer, I was at the Red Lion and had been having a few pints, and this woman comes walking out the door at the back, and I'm out the back having a cigarette at this point. And the woman comes walking out the door, and I heard this audible voice in my ear that said, "That's your wife." And instantly I knew that prayer just came to me like a sledgehammer. Bam, that's your wife.
Yeah.
And I knew that the Lord had spoken to me.
Yeah.
And I pursued, and that's my wife today, is Gabrielle. And
Awesome.
from that time, it's just coming to Faith City. Yeah.
So good.
I've been transformed. It's been, But I don't want to go on and on.
No, that's good.
Yes.
One thing I was going to track back a little bit is when you're talking that you went to like Palmy Boys for 4 years.
Yes.
I think there's probably a pretty high chance that we were there at the same time at some
Oh,
stage.
really?
Really?
Yeah.
Correct.
Because I was in I was there year 10 and year 11.
Yeah, sorry.
So whatever, I have to do some math now. I'm 33 now, and I was there when I was 14
Yeah.
and 15.
Ah, okay. Yeah, I'm 33, so...
Oh, yeah.
Yeah, because we would have definitely been there at the same time.
Oh, wow.
Crazy.
You may have been a year higher than me, but
Okay. Yeah, I was there. My first year was 2005. That was my third full year.
I'm going to quickly pull out my
Nice.
calculator and get that math going. So in 2025.
Well, that's funny. We could have brushed shoulders.
Yeah, I know, right?
We would have, probably.
I'm 33 now, minus...
Would have looked at each other in the face.
It was 18 years ago, wasn't it? Probably
That's
when
a
I was
long
15.
Man,
So
I've never
that's,
done that calculation yet.
You would have looked quite athletic back then, eh? Now you're
Oh, yeah.
looking,
I was
looking
like...
muscular.
I was like a chiseled god.
Yeah. A little G, guys.
There is only one god. No, that was 2007 probably, ish.
Yeah.
Around that time.
Yeah,
It's like
I
a
would
couple
have been
years.
there, definitely.
Yeah, the start of year 10.
How
But-
good.
I know, it's a small world, isn't it?
Yes.
Yeah.
It is.
Yeah, you guys have some years on me. Not much though. Yeah,
Now, you're getting there, eh?
that's the one.
So, I want to talk to you about, because it seems now that obviously you're getting, I'm like following the Lord and stuff well, and
Yeah.
so that, I know that you've been serving in this church and stuff, and that you're actually studying
Yeah.
to become a pastor, don't you?
Yeah. Yeah.
You want to talk to us a little bit about how you got to that point?
Yeah, well, if I go, what I've had to do is, I think from the beginning, where the Lord started to work on me. And I think as believers, we all have this moment in time when it talks about in Proverbs about the fear of the Lord is the beginning of wisdom. And I mean, that fear means reverence.
Yeah.
The Reverence podcast. With
Got
Jesse
it.
and James now.
Jerk.
Yeah. And that reverence, that fear, that awe, that respect, that deep respect, to actually begin to take on what God's putting down for us, to pick it up and to take it on and begin to apply it to our life. And the beginning, it's a bit rocky, like it was for me, and it was a bit rocky, and we go up and down. We find ourselves, well, I find myself continually at the altar call, which is healthy because it's been the Holy Spirit's obviously working on me, and it was working on me at that moment, you know, and I had to really take hold of what God was putting down. And as that process started to take place and I began to see, and God showed me what the decisions that I was making in my life and the habits that I had were going to ultimately end in destruction. Yeah. That I was going to be robbed of my family, robbed of my home, my life, my health. These are all things that God just, one day I was walking down the hallway and he just put that in my soul, just bam. Yeah. And it was that moment that I said, no, I'm going to turn. Yeah. I'm turning. I'm doing it. Yeah.
You are listening to the Reverence Podcast with Jesse and James, brother. This is episode 10, by the way. We cracked the double digits.
This is all the time we have for today, fellas. But we will back. We will be back here next time.
We will back.
We will be back. Not back as in like the back, like a body part. Back like we will do another episode next week.
At this location.
Yes.
Okay.
We'll be right here, waiting for you.
Yes, we will be.
In the meantime, go like our Facebook page. We put good stuff there, and you can see our pictures. Put a face to the voice.
Or the voice to the face.
Thanks for listening. We're gonna go and laugh for a bit now.